All of those Dr. Retrievers you're looking at should be pretty good indicators for us that we might be spotting some of those elephants here shortly. Now, it looks like there were 2 of the African elephants out there. We'll see if we get a better look at them here in a moment. Now, the African elephants, they are going to have great big ears that do roughly resemble the shape of the continent of Africa. They are going to be flapping their ears back and forth as a really great way to help cool off their bodies. So you can kind of think about it like a fan or an air conditioner, just attached to them at all times. Now, as there are a couple of those elephants out there. Now, because there are more than one, we can assume that they are going to be a pretty small herd of elephants. As male elephants, they are pretty solitary. They're going to spend most of their days kind of out on their own. Occasionally rejoin their original herds for short periods of time before they do ultimately just split back off again. But as elephants are going to be the largest of the land mammals, they are also known to eat about 3 to 4% of their body weight in a single day. There is pretty much no spaces out on the savanna that they will find all of that food in one place, and so elephants, they do spend a lot of their days roaming around the savanna, searching for as much of their food as they can possibly find. To that right-hand side, you're looking at some tusk marks there in the side of that clay wall. Those will come from elephants digging their tusks into the side of that clay wall. Now, by loosening up the clay, they're then going to use their trunks to bring the clay up towards their mouths, so that way they can eat the clay. Now, it might sound a little bit silly, elephants eating clay. However, that clay, it is going to be full of tons of nutrients and minerals. They keep them nice and healthy. Very, very similar to how you or I might take our vitamins to stay healthy. That red clay will do pretty similar things for the elephants. Now to the left-hand side, we can find a couple of those elephants. Yeah, there is a baby elephant moving around.
Look.
Now, she's actually about a year old. She was born just at the end of last year. Now, the elephants, they do live in matriarchal herds, so they're going to be led by their eldest female elephant. They tend to have these pretty large herds out. Now, female elephants, they do remain pregnant with their babies for just about 22 months, so they are pregnant for almost a full 2 years. And then after their babies are born, it takes them about 14 to 15 years for them to be considered a full-grown adult, giving elephants one of the longest periods of time for them to be considered full-grown. Now to our left, you can find the flamboyance of the greater flamingo as well. And they get their group name, the flamboyance, due to the vibrancy of that color pink. The greater flamingo are the larger of the flamingos, as they are the taller of them, which is also why they're called the greater flamingo. It's not because they're better than other flamingos by any means, it really just is that they're taller than them. They are the lightest shade of pink as well, and their pink color comes primarily from their diet, which consists mainly of brine shrimp. Brine shrimp is full of beta-carotene, which is going to be the protein that helps that pink color to come out. There to our left, we do also have a mud wallow. Now, mud wallows, they are often going to be wonderful gathering spaces for lots of different animals here on the savanna. However, if you're looking out there, you're really not seeing a whole lot of anything gathering. Mud wallows are often going to be pretty good indicators of some rhino activity as well. As rhinos, they love to come out to a mud wallow, and actually you're going to see quite a few of them hanging out up down the way to the right. The white rhinos, they are the larger of the rhinos that you'll find out here in Africa. They'll weigh about 4,000, up to about 6,000 pounds. They also tend to be the more social of the rhinos, and so they will be the ones that you find out together, either in pairs or in groups.
Let's see.
cheetahs moving around out here to our
cheetahs,
left. The cheetah is the fastest land mammal. They're going to go from about 0 to 60 miles per hour in just about 3 seconds. Now, they can't really maintain those fast speeds very long, just about a few hundred yards. They have non-retractable claws that they can kind of use like a set of spikes or cleats, allowing them to grip into the ground and gain some of their traction while they're running. Cheetahs are going to not be a part of the big cat family because they do not have the ability to roar like a typical big cat, such as a tiger or even a lion. Instead, the sounds that those cheetahs are going to make, they're going to be a little bit closer to a bird or even a house cat, making more of a chirping, sort of a purring, or even a meowing sort of sound. Speaking of big cats, Kobe rocks like what we're going to be seeing out here to our left are often great spaces to spot some of those big cats, just like lions. Lions, however, they are known to sleep or rest for about 20 or so hours of their day. They are nocturnal hunters, so they tend to be far more active at night than they are during the day as well. We're going to see if we get the chance to see any of those lions, but we also are going to see some of the waterbuck here to our right. Waterbuck are a darker brown antelope species, getting their name from the amount of water that they consume and the fact that they are never typically found too far from a watering source. Now, they do have a very shaggy coat, and their bodies will also produce a natural oil that is pretty smelly, but it's going to make them pretty water resistant, kind of helping them glide through any of the waters they may be trying to travel through. Ends up helping them to evade any predators that they may want to be running away from. If you look out there to that left-hand side, you can see a couple of those lions. There are 3 lions out there. There's going to be two females and a male, the male being the one that's standing up at the moment. And you can see that they are decently young. This one, he is going to have a mane that is growing in, and the male lions will be the only ones with a mane. Now, lions, when they communicate to one another, their roars can be heard from about 5 miles away. So it does get to be pretty loud out here on the savannah from time to time.
Oh, there's something right there.
Now, all the way in that back left corner, you might spot some of those warthogs. The warthog is going to be one of the largest burrowing animals here in Africa. They also are going to have 2 sets of tusks and a really long snout to make them really great landscapers, as they are going to be using those kind of like a shovel, helping them dig out new burrows or allowing them to reshape any of the pre-existing burrows. And if you do look out there to the right, you might spot the ostrich. Now, the ostrich is going to be the largest bird on 2 legs, as well as they are one of the fastest birds on 2 legs, reaching speeds up to about 45 miles per hour. Ostriches, they are flightless, and so the wings that they have on the sides of their bodies, they are going to be used more as a way to guide themselves as they run, sort of like a sail on a sailboat, really helping those ostriches to figure out which direction it is that they're wanting to go next. Now, we're going to start moving away from the savannah. Our next stop, it'll be down at our warden's post here in the Magadi Glen. Our wardens are the ones that take care of all of the different animals here all across the reserve. So as you can imagine, they're going to have a lot of animals to take care of, a lot of ground to cover, and it usually doesn't leave our wardens with too much time to be spent hanging at their posts, as they will have one of the most important jobs out here. We're going to be spotting some of their Nigerian dwarf goats. Now, these goats that we're looking at, they are going to be pretty small, and they will be staying small throughout their entire lives. So you might be looking at some full-grown goats here. Now, they are also very active and playful animals as well. Their favorite snack is called underbrush, which conveniently